Today, Elon Musk's big bet on Trump pays off. Trump makes his first post-election appointment, and key world leaders skip the COP29 climate summit. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Friday the 8th of November, 2024. Our main story today is that the share price of Tesla, the electric vehicles company owned by billionaire Elon Musk, has surged since the results of the US election. According to the Nasdaq index, on Wednesday morning at 9:30 a.m., Tesla shares immediately spiked to around $285, and since then they've continued climbing. As of 5 a.m. on Friday morning, the company's share price, one of the best performing stocks in the aftermath of the election, has risen to nearly $300, a 35% increase compared to this time last year. This is largely because of Musk's central role in the Trump campaign and his likely strong influence over the incoming president over the next 4 years. Musk, who is the world's richest person with a fortune now estimated to be $285 billion, was also Trump's biggest donor, having given more than $100 million to the pro-Republican funding body America PAC. He was also a prominent face out on the campaign trail too, having hosted town halls in key swing states like Pennsylvania. On election day, Musk also reportedly bussed Amish voters to polling stations to help them get there. So what will a Trump presidency mean for Musk's business, and for Musk personally? Well, many financial analysts are expecting Tesla to do well going forward, not least because of the electric vehicle tariff Trump has pledged to enact on foreign vehicles, including raising duties on Chinese imports by as much as 50%. For context, the Biden administration had already quadrupled tariffs on Chinese EVs to 100% in September. Trump has even floated a 2,000% tariff on vehicles made in Mexico, where Chinese manufacturers have been looking to build factories. In a more general business sense, less regulation under Trump and corporation tax cuts will also benefit Musk, whose enterprises range from cars to neuroscience. Political analysts, though, seem more skeptical about the Musk-Trump relationship. Both are known for being unpredictable, egocentric, and power-hungry, and Trump hasn't previously had to share the stage with someone equally mercurial. However, Musk is likely to see presidential support for his space ambitions via his rocket company SpaceX, as well as for his media ambitions through X. In fact, there have even been rumours that X could merge with Trump's social media company Truth Social, as a powerful mouthpiece for both men. There's more on the way, but remember to subscribe and ring the bell for more daily briefing on Monday. Plus, if you want to support TLDR, then check out our magazine Too Long. The link is in the description, and there'll be more details at the end of the video. Donald Trump has made his first major appointment since becoming president-elect, appointing his campaign manager Susie Wiles as his new chief of staff, making her the first woman to hold the post. Trump said Wiles had, quote, just helped me achieve one of the greatest political victories in American history, and that she's tough, smart, innovative, and is universally admired and respected. Wiles, 67, was described by Politico earlier this year as the most feared and least known political operative in America, rarely speaking on the record or speaking about herself at all. At Trump's victory speech, he called her up to the microphone, but she denied the opportunity to say any words. Wiles has worked in Republican politics for decades, especially in Florida, where she won several campaigns. She first met Trump during the 2015 Republican presidential primary. The role of Chief of Staff is effectively the president's top aide and the manager of the White House, overseeing daily operations and its staff. Over the coming weeks and months, the Trump transition team will gradually put together the incoming administration's top team, giving an insight into the kind of government Trump will lead. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has become the latest world leader to pull out of next week's COP29 climate summit, after his coalition government collapsed earlier this week. The summit, hosted by Azerbaijan, is aiming to secure a new deal to finance climate efforts in poorer countries, but the list of non-attendees is growing longer. Earlier this week, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen reversed her plans to attend in order to focus the ongoing confirmation hearings for her Commission team. According to Politico, France's Emmanuel Macron, Canada's Justin Trudeau, South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa, the United States' Joe Biden, Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, and Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese also appear to be skipping the summit. Separately, Papua New Guinea has announced its withdrawal from COP29, calling it a total waste of time due to the frustrations over, quote, empty promises and inaction. The risk to global climate efforts became even starker this week with the election of Donald Trump, who previously pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement and has threatened to do so again. Now over to Mozambique, where post-election unrest is continuing as large numbers of people take to the streets to protest alleged fraud in last month's elections that saw the governing Frelimo party win and extend its 49-year rule. The Frelimo party's presidential candidate allegedly secured 70% of the vote, but this number has been disputed by the opposition. Yesterday, large crowds of mostly young men barricaded streets with burning tyres, waving signs in support of the opposition leader Venancio Mondlane, in what was one of the biggest protests against the Frelimo party yet. Mondlane was the one who called for a week of protests, culminating on Thursday, after he declared the vote to be rigged. At least 20 people have been killed in protests since the election. The defence minister told reporters on Tuesday that the army could intervene to protect the interest of the state. In an interview with AFP news agency, Mondlane, who claims to be the actual winner of the election, said it was a crucial moment for the country. Mondlane described the atmosphere as revolutionary and argued that the country is on the verge of a unique historical and political transition. Mondlane fled Mozambique last month following unrest. While he said he would be at Thursday's march, in the end he did not return due to safety concerns. Protesters in the city centre were met by police using tear gas against the crowds, and large numbers of security forces were deployed across the capital. And finally, in some uplifting news, deforestation in Brazil's Amazon rainforest fell more than 30% in the 12 months through July, compared to the year before, new government data shows, the smallest area of the rainforest destroyed in 9 years. The data is the first full annual measure of deforestation under President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who took office at the start of 2023, having pledged to rein in deforestation that had surged under Jair Bolsonaro, his predecessor. Lula has pledged to end deforestation by 2030, and his Environment Minister, Marina Silva, said of the new data, "What was presented here today is the fruit of our labour. It's possible for us to confront climate change." Earlier in today's episode, we discussed Donald Trump's victory and Mozambique's post-election violence. If elections are something you're interested in, then you should check out our magazine Too Long, the 2024 election special. Too Long is the high-quality physical magazine that we make every 4 months, and this time dives into every major election to take place in 2024, including, obviously, the US election. That means it'll contain our full analysis of the US election, what the winner, so Donald Trump, is likely to do next, and our review of the Biden administration. However, there's so much more than just the US election to talk about. With nearly half of the world's population able to vote in 2024, we dive into elections from all over the world, outlining how people voted, the impacts, and the real stories. That makes Too Long the ideal way to commemorate this iconic year of elections. Whether you're an American wanting a bit of electoral history, a European TLDR fan looking to dive deeper into the elections across the continent we've been discussing all year, or you're just curious about the elections you might have missed, now's the time to buy. If you really want to support our free journalism, you can also buy the premium edition that not only includes the magazine, but also gets you access to our behind-the-scenes podcast and gets your name printed in the thank you section. You can also subscribe to make sure you never miss an issue, which not only helps us a lot, but also gets you 25% off every copy going forward. So commemorate this massive election, support our journalism, and experience our very best reporting with Too Long. Plus, if you use code 2DAILY, you'll not only get £2 off any purchase, we'll also know that you came from the Daily Briefing, which supports the show.